Is it okay now? I think I should start now. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank organizers, Dr. Ramdev Pandit, founder of Indo-Nepal Ayurveda Cooperation Campaign, and Dr. Kulkarni, coordinator of this campaign, and Dr. Gaurang Joshi, who is also the part of this campaign, and owner of Atharva Ayurveda Hospital, Rajkot, Gujarat, for giving me this opportunity to interact with all of you. I think I have started. Post a message that I am visible and audible. Thank you, sir. Thanks for giving me the chance to interact with all of you. And as I am working in the Department of Gynecology, the topic given to me is related to female health, and it is very good initiation from all of you to celebrate or to start this campaign Narayani 2020. Name is very good. Narayani name is given. Narayani is the wife of Vishnu, and it is dedicated to all the females, this program. So I will discuss regarding the female health, and God has given this opportunity to females to have ability to procreate, and a unique system is given by God to females, that is reproductive system. And this system although is present during their birth, after birth they are having the system, but the system comes into action after attaining the maturity. And during a phase of life, during some years the system works, start work at the maturity and ceases the work at the menopause. And during this phase is known as reproductive phase or reproductive years of the life of a female. And during these years, females is having different phases in her life and different changes in her body. We can say anatomical changes, physiological changes, and this sometimes anatomy and physiology converts into pathology. And those problems are known as gynecological problems. So today I will try to throw light upon this thing. What are the gynecological problems in terms of Ayurveda and how we deal with these problems? So anatomically, the organs involved or present in the system are uterus, fallopian tubes, ovaries, and other organs like mammary glands are there, and supporting organs, endocrine system is there to support this system. And physiologically also, this system starts, as I told, after attaining the maturity, right? So indirect evidence of the functioning of the system is menstrual cycle, right? By this menstrual cycle we can assess the normal physiology of the system, that the function has started each and every month. By this menstrual phase or menstrual cycle, we can see or we can assess that system is functioning properly. It means anatomical and physiological integrity of the reproductive system is assessed by this cycle. And two cycles simultaneously run in the ovary, that is ovarian cycle, in the uterus, that is uterine cycle. In ovary, follicle starts developing. Each month one cycle, one rotation is there in ovary and parallel in the uterus, and controlling is HPO axis, hypothalamus pituitary ovarian axis. This is endocrinology. In terms of Ayurvedic principles, doshas, Vata, Pitta and Kapha controls these both the cycles in the ovary, in the uterus. In the ovary, follicle starts developing after the cessation of bleeding phase. And regeneration, function of regeneration is of Kapha. Kapha dosh regenerates everything in the body. Like that, follicle is developing in the ovary in the influence of Kapha. Simultaneously, in the uterus, endometrial lining is developing in the influence of Kapha dosh. It is regenerating. And after function of Kapha or maturing follicle requires some growth or nutrition that is given by Pitta dosha. Same as in the endometrial cavity or in uterine cavity, endometrium is developing. After development of the endometrium or lining of the endometrium, as and when developed, it should be filled or developed by glands, blood. It should be fed by blood, and that is the function of Pitta dosh. Pitta and Rakta are samandharmi. So in the mid cycle, function of Pitta is there. And towards the end of the cycle, Vata dosh comes into actions, because movement, each and every movement is controlled in the body by the Vata dosh. Right? So Kapha, Pitta and Vata, one by one, taking into action their function, and their we can say that I have done my work, I am handing over to you. So like that, handed over to Pitta, handed over to Vata, and again Kapha, Pitta, Vata. Although three doshas are working together, but influence in the starting is of Kapha, then Pitta and then Vata. So we cannot see externally during first phase, second phase, or we can say growth of the follicle from the outside, or regeneration of the endometrium from the outside. But bleeding phase, we can see, or patient can tell us that bleeding phase is started, right? And in the Ayurvedic principles, or we can say in the Ayurvedic classics, it is mentioned that Masat Nishpich Daha Arti Pancharatraanubandhi cha Artavam Shuddham Adishet. It means it is indirect evidence that ovary is functioning, uterus is functioning, endocrine system is functioning, all the three doshas are functioning, everything is going on properly. So, Masat means after completion of all the process of entire month, bleeding phase has started. So, this physiology takes whole month, like outer, like inner, right? So, in the body of the female, the cycle takes 1 month, Masat. It means that is normal physiology. If it is deviated, if it is less than 1 month, more than 1 month, female can assess that there is something wrong in her body, and she will visit the doctor, right? After, when we ask the patient regularity of the cycle, we can assess that there is problem in her body. If cycle is short, if cycle is long, we can assess Masat. Then Nishpich, no stickiness. If there is stickiness, some level of stickiness is there, but stickiness's axis indicates the Kapha dosh is deranged. We ask the patient that there is more stickiness is there in the bleeding or not. If it is like that, we have to treat the kapha dosh after assessment of the symptoms in the body of the female. Right? Nishpicha daha. If there is daha, burning sensation, it is indicating the pitta dosha is involved. Arti. Arti means Vedana. Vedana means pain. Pain during menstruation. That indicates Vata dosha is involved or Vata dosha is being deranged. So we have to treat according to the Vata dosha. So माशात निस्पिच्छदाहार्ति पंचरात्रानुबंधी च नैव अति बहु नाति अल्प means quantity of the blood. Naiva ati. There is no mention that this ml is proper. Na ati, not very excess. Na alpa, not very less. That is normal. So, quantity is relative to the individual. Individual to individual, there is somewhat variation in the quantity of the bleeding during menstrual phase or bleeding phase. So, each and every female can assess that previously she was having this and this quantity. Yeah. Now she can assess that previously this and this was her quantity, and now it is reduced and now it is increased. So according to that, female can give you the idea that her menstrual cycle is having changed or is having problem with her body. So according to that, you can have idea regarding of a reproductive system. Okay. So in this only one sentence or only one shlok, it is mentioned that reproductive system is functioning properly. Now, how there can be pathology? Physiology converts into pathology. Ayurveda believes in the preventive aspect. So first of all, either you have to advise prevention, either you have to treat the patient, you must know the causative factors. Causative factors, individual to individual varies. Right? So, causative factors mentioned are mithya acharena tahastrinam. First cause is given mithya achar. Mithya achar means wrong lifestyle. Ahar and vihar, dietary habits or lifestyle. Somewhat variation she has adopted, and due to those variations, her system is being converting physiology into pathology. Mithya acharena tahasrinam pradushtena artavena. Yani, due to her lifestyle change or somewhat other causes, artava is dushta. Without dushti of artava, there will not be problem. Right? Mithyacharena tahasrinam pradushtena artavena jayante bija doshach. Problem in her bij. Congenital problems can be there, or genetic issues can be there, or while that female girl was inside womb of her mother, some messages or messengers are there in her reproductive system, and as and when they get some predisposing factors, she may suffer from that disease. Like I would like to give example that some genetic factors causing breast cancer, or some genetic factors causing dysmenorrhea. Two daughters are of same mother, right? But one is having that problem, second one is not having that problem. So genetic messengers are there, but if you will not follow any wrong dietary habits or wrong lifestyle, you will not have disease. Although you are having messages on your or you are having those genes in your body. So we can control our genes or genetic messages by our lifestyle. That is the message in this slok, that mithya achar. If you will follow mithya achar, then only you will have disease, otherwise will not. If you follow proper dinacharya mentioned in Ayurvedic classics, Ratri Charya in our classics, and for females, Rajaswala Paricharya is mentioned. In Rajaswala Paricharya, we advise dietary habits to follow during those bleeding phase, exercise not to be done, psychological factors to be followed during that phase. If female follow that thing, she will not have any gynecological problem if she follows proper Rajaswala Paricharya. During pregnancy, antenatal care, Garbhini Paricharya is mentioned. During postnatal care, Sutika Paricharya is mentioned. Paricharya means dictums to be followed. If dictums to be followed are proper in the life of a female, she will not have problem. Right. So, rules and regulation mentioned in Ayurvedic classics are very good, and that prevent the disease conditions in the life of a female. So when patients come to us, we have to identify the cause. What is the cause? What is the presentation? Presentation we can assess by this मासात निस्पिच्छ दाहार्ति पंचरात्रानुबंधी च नैवाति बहुनात्यल्पम. If everything is fine, there is no problem. So presentation we can assess by the taking her menstrual history. If interval is proper, duration is proper, she is not having pain, what is the problem? According to that, we can assess the doshic predominance. We can evaluate. Evaluation will be done on the basis of presentation. And by that, basic treatment can be started to the females. If not getting the result, then you can further give her Sanshodhan Chikitsa. We give to our patients that first visit, always give basic treatment. That we give basic treatment to the patients in first visit. So, common gynecological problems we face or we see in our patients are related to menstrual cycle, vaginal discharges, some inflammatory conditions, we can say vaginitis, or breast conditions, or infertility. If menstrual problems are not solved, she may land into infertility. So these problems she may have, or she may come to you with these problems. So sometimes patient comes to us by giving that she is not able to conceive. So this infertility is also very common problem. But today I will not going to discuss with you infertility, but I'm going to discuss common problems. Those are related to menstrual cycle. You are having idea now that what is the normal menstrual cycle, right? Now, if she is having pain during menstruation, that is known as dysmenorrhea. Dysmenorrhea. Dys means not proper. She is having some difficulty. Menorrhea, bleeding phase. During the bleeding phase, she is having some difficulty. Like dull, she may have dull pain, she may have throbbing pain in lower abdomen, or sometimes pain radiates to back, sometimes pain radiates to thighs, sometimes patients are having severe pain. Depends upon the uh, involvement of the dosha, depends upon the prakriti of the patients. According to that, or we can say Laghu Vyadit and Guru Vyadit. Pain is there, but she is having tolerance power. So according to that, she may complain pain according to her tolerance. So these patients are Laghu Vyadit or Guru Vyadit. Sometimes patients are having nausea, vomiting. Sometimes problem related to GIT, like loose motions, or sometimes vomiting, or sometimes sweating, sometimes dizziness. Like that, these problems patients are coming to us, and this is known as dysmenorrhea, right? So, what to do? Pain is there, patient is having pain, and that is dysmenorrhea, right? So, influence is of Vata dosha. As in when or in any part of the body, if there is pain, we think about the Vata dosha. Patient is having pain, means there is involvement is Vata dosha. But along with Vata dosha, sometimes there can be Kapha, there can be Pitta, and this we uh, identify as Avarana. Pittavrit Vata, Kaphavrit Vata, Kapha Anubandhi Vata, Pitta Anubandhi Vata. So identification of dosha with Vata is important, and that we can assess by the taking detailed history of the patients. We ask about her Agni, we ask about her routine daily life. According to that, we can assess the prakriti of the patients and involvement of the dosha. And after identification of dosha, we advise patient what to do and not to do. Right? Sometimes, or so many times, I have seen that causative factors in dysmenorrhea is to hold the natural urges. Vek vidharan is very common cause I have seen in my patients. And sometimes stress is very common cause in the patients of dysmenorrhea. Sometimes overexertion. Some patients are having cause overexertion. And sometimes dietary factors. Ruksha ahara. Nowadays, girls are not taking this ghee and everything to remain thin and beautiful. So, rukshata is there. When there is rukshata, there will be vat prakop, and that vat prakop will lead to pain during menstruation, that is dysmenorrhea. If there is guru and abhishandi ahara, or heavy diet, or kapha prakopak diet, there will be kapha involvement, right? And due to that, patient may have pain abdomen. So what to do when patient is having pain? If patient is having pain, we have to treat the vata dosh. That is the line of treatment. Control the vata. Nahi vatadrita yonir narinam sampradushati. The reproductive system is in the place of vata dosha. That is a site of vata dosha, and that is specific site of apana vata. So to control the vata dosha and specifically type of apan vata, we have to do the management of or treatment of the vata dosha or vat anuloman chikitsa. So to control the vata dosha, drug of choice is dashmul. Dashmul in the form of Kwatha you can give. Dashmul in the form of Basti. Dashmul Tel you can give. Matra Basti you can give. Uttar Basti you can give. Dashmul with the combination of Trivrit. Trivrit is anti-inflammatory. So generally I give Dashmul Trivrita Tel Matra Basti. It is giving very excellent result in the patients of dysmenorrhea. So Dashmul Trivrita Tel is my drug of choice. What I do in my patient, that Dashmul Trivrita Tel Matra Basti. That is my line of treatment. Vata Shaman, Vata Anuloman, and Agni Chikitsa. Always I do that. Think about the Agni. What is the Agni of the patient? If patient is having mandagni, if patient is having vishamagni, according to that I give dietary advice to my patients, what to take, what not to take. That is always I give, and it is required to give to the patients. And nowadays patients are keen to ask that what to do, but always tell the patient not to follow the Google search. You examine the patient, evaluate the patient. According to that, you have to advise to your patient. And in the terms of medicines or oral medications, we sometimes give Hingvastak Churna, we give Shankhavati, we can give Arogyavardhini. If Kapha involvement is there, I generally give Arogyavardhini. If Vata is involvement, I give Hingvastak Churna with Shankhabhasma. Generally, I give. And if there is Pitta involved, sometimes Pitta is also involved, and in that case, we have to add Kashmiri also, right? We can add Kashmiri or Shalmali, or sometimes we give Grita preparation to our patients. And a very good thing is Brihat Methi Modak. Methi Modak is very good thing you can advise to your patients, but not during the menstrual phase. Brihat Methi Modak is given throughout the month. We can give. And Rajapravartani Vatti also can be given in the patients of dysmenorrhea who are having less bleeding, who are not having proper bleeding. So bleeding is less, there is some obstruction. Due to obstruction, patient may have pain. Obstructed vata can cause pain. So we can give Dashmul Kwat is always I advise, but along with that, you can advise Rajapravartani Vatti to or proper flow of the blood. If proper flow of his blood is there, patient will not have pain. There will not have obstruction. And yoga asana also I advise to my patient that do Surya Namaskar. Surya Namaskar I advise to my patients, and in some patients I advise Marjarasana also. Marjarasana is very good asana in the patients of dysmenorrhea and premenstrual syndrome. The patients of PMS who can advise Marjarasana is very good asana that control the doshas involved in the reproductive system and manage those doshas to do their function properly. Along with this, you can advise Titali Asana or some Paschimottanasana. All we can advise. But Surya Namaskar and Marjarasana is very good asana we can advise to our patients. And sometimes I advise Kati Chakrasana, Vakrasana also. And dietary advice is always there that should be advised. And second problem, we can say that reduced menstrual interval or increased menstrual interval. Sometimes nowadays, very common problem is amenorrhea, absence of menstruation. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, sometimes 6 months patients are coming to us that they are having amenorrhea. They are not having menstruation. So if there is absence of something, two things I advise to think, whatever, like there is no water in your house, water is not coming. Two things can be there. There is no availability, there is no production, or some obstruction in the way. Right? There is no supply of water, or there can be obstruction in the pipes of the house. Like that, in the body, there can be no production of menstruation, or as I told you that uterine cycle and ovarian cycle is having problem. So production problem is there. And second thing, problem in the flow. There can be obstruction. So identification of these two things is important. Whether the problem is with production, whether the problem is with the flow. And according to that, we have to give treatment to the patient. Artha Nirman and Artha Pravartan. Formation of menstruation and excretion of the menstruation. That can be identified and that can be treated in the patient. So if there is no production, production is hampered. Production, as I told you, that related to kapha dosh, related to pitta dosh. So in production, kapha and pitta are involved. And in flow, vata dosha is involved. Right? So we have to identify whether kapha is deranged, whether pitta is deranged. If pitta is involved, pitta can do two pathology. If dravaguna is involved, liquidity of the blood is increased. So formation will be increased, flow will be increased. If dryness, Ushna Guna of Pitta is increased, it will dry up the system or blood. So there will not be Artha. So Pitta can do both the things. Pitta can do amenorrhea, Pitta can do menorrhagia, Pitta can do absence of menstruation, Pitta can do heavy menstruation. So we have to identify which dosha is involved and which quality of the dosha is involved. If we have identified pitta is involved, but which quality of pitta is involved? If Ushna Guna of pitta is involved, how can I identify the Ushna Guna of pitta? I ask the patient कि आपको खट्टे डकार आते हैं या पेट में जलन होती है. In both the patients, pitta is involved, pitta is increased. खट्टे डकार आते हैं means if she is having eructations, it means it indicates that liquidity of pitta is involved. Liquidity of the pitta is increased, right? If burning sensation is there in your patient, pitta is involved, but ushna guna or hotness of the pitta is increased, and that hotness will dry up the artha, and patient will have scanty periods or amenorrhea. If eructations is there, belching is there, liquidity of pitta is increased, and patient will having heavy menstruation. Both the cases pitta is involved. So according to that, we have to treat the patient which dosha involved, but quality of dosha is also important. In amenorrhea also, two doshas are there, pitta dosh and kapha dosh. If kapha is involved, kapha always causes obstruction. Pitta causes deformity in production. Kapha causes obstruction in the flow. So according to that, if you have identified the dosha, you can treat the patient accordingly. So no treatment in the same in all the patients. To identify the dosha in your patients and give the medication. Right. So line of treatment given in the amenorrhea in our classics is Sanshodhanam Agneyanam cha Dravyanam Vidhivat Upayoga. Sanshodhan if there is kapha involved or there is pitta involved. If kapha involvement is there, we advise patient of vamana karma. If pitta is involved, we do vireshan. Treatment is different. Dravyanam vidhivata upyoga. Agneya dravya we have to give if pitta is involved in the cases of amenorrhea. Right. And what can be given? Swayoni vardhana. The medicines or dietary factors like brinjal. Brinjal causes pitta vriddhi in the body of the patients. So if patient is having amenorrhea, you advise to take brinjal to your patients, right? And if medicines which increases pitta, if you are giving in the patients of amenorrhea, patient will have menstruation. Ushna tikshna medicines can be given. I will give example of one of my patients. She was having a scanty periods due to kapha dosha. We admitted her, we gave Vaman chikitsa, everything, and she was having regular periods. But during this lockdown period, she was at home, and during that period, due to stress, anxiety, and dietary factors, pitta increased in her body, and due to pitta, she again had amenorrhea, but she was not able or to come to hospital. So she googled what to do in the cases of amenorrhea. She started to take papaya. Papaya is having ushna guna, and at that time she was having ushnata in her body, and that ushnata was increased and scanty periods turned into amenorrhea. So identification of dosha is very much important in the patients of amenorrhea. So after identification, you give the medicines to the patient and you give the dietary advice to your patients. So bamboo, tila, Krishna tila we advise to our patients in the patients of amenorrhea. Papaya also can be advised, but where patient is having this dravata of the dravata should be increased, right? And rason, adrak can be advised to patient. You can advise sunthi also. You can advise Krishna tila also patient. And if patient comes to you, you have to give therapy. And formation, when there is formation problem, we give Shatavaryadi Anuvasan Basti. Means Shatavari Tel, Shatavari Girta, Anuvasan Basti should be given. And this Shatavari is having phytoestrogens in terms of medical terminology. So that phytoestrogens will help in the regeneration of the endometrium or growth of the follicle. And that Shatavari Grita, Shatavari Tel, Anuvasan Basti will give the result to your patient and will give improvement to the patients of the amenorrhea. And in the patients, we can advise fish also. It is mentioned in our classic that uh, kulatha, also we can advise to our patient. We can advise fish to our patient. We can advise Krishna Tila also, white Tila also, and Shatapushpa also we give in routine practice to our patients of amenorrhea. Right. And third common problem, patients comes to us with the menorrhagia. Menorrhagia means excessive bleeding during the periods. It means quantity is increased. Nati bahu nati alpa is mentioned. But when quantity is increased, it is known as menorrhagia. Patient is having more bleeding during that phase. And assessment as per the patient is different of menorrhagia, and lot many causative factors are there, and those factors should be identified, whether there is any growth inside the uterus or ovary, whether she is having ovarian cyst or she is having uterine fibroid, that you have to exclude in those patients who are having menorrhagia. And ovarian cyst, uterine fibroid are growth disorders, and that involves kapha and meda. So according to that, we have to give the treatment. And other causative factors in Ayurvedic classics that always I discuss according to the reference. Reference is given of menorrhagia or excessive bleeding in Madhav Nidan, that is given as Viruddha Madhya Adhyashana. Viruddha. Viruddha Ahar. If patient is consuming Viruddha Ahar. Viruddha Ahar means not compatible. Amlaras with milk. Sour things with the milk. That is non-compatible diet. To take fish with milk, that is not compatible diet. So this type of non-compatible diet are mentioned in Ayurvedic classics. Those are Viruddha Ahara. And this Viruddha Ahara consumption for how many days will cause menorrhagia? In quantity of excess for long duration. Right. Once if you take Viruddhahara, it's not going to do anything in your body. But if you consume Viruddhahara for long term, in the excess quantity, it causes disease. Viruddha Madhya. Madhya means alcohol. Consumption of alcohol is also causes menorrhagia. Alcohol means Pitta Vriddhi. Pitta Vriddhi again causes Dravaguna of Pitta increase, and that causes menorrhagia. Viruddha Madhya Adhyashan. Adhyashan means if you are not hungry, again you are taking food. Adhyashan. Already food is there inside the stomach, and again there is consumption of food. It causes amadosha on toxicity in your body, and that clogging of all these rotas, all these atavas rotas, all these rotas will cause the disease conditions in the body. Right. So Viruddha Madhya Adhyashanat Ajirnath. Ajirna means non-digestion. Ajirna again causes amadosha in the body and srotorodha, clogging of the srotas, and that causes dosha prakop, or that causes convert physiology into pathology. Viruddha Madhya Adhyashanat Ajirnat Garbha Prapatat. If patient is having history of abortion, see, very good explanation is given our classics. Nowadays also we are seeing that if patients are coming with the history of heavy bleeding in the reproductive age, we ask them to go for scanning, or we ask them whether they were having history of abortion or not. If patient is having history of abortion, sometimes they can be retained products inside the uterus, and those retained products, if are available inside the uterus or are present in the uterus, that uterus contracts to expel them. That is the physiology of the body. That body try to expel the foreign body inside any organ. So retained products are there inside the uterus, uterus is trying to expel them, and that causes bleeding. So viruddha madhya adeshana dajina garbhaprapatat ati maithunat. Coital act in excess. What causes this thing? Local blood circulation is increased, and due to increased blood circulation there can be more blood inside the uterus, or localized blood collection is there, and patient will have bleeding due to that congestion, menorrhagia due to that congestion. Yana adva means repeated journey. Previously they were doing journey upon this. Adva means horse riding or something like that. If they are doing in excess, that also increases local blood circulation or congestion, and that local blood circulation or congestion will cause heavy bleeding. Atikarshanath means fasting. Atikarshana, fasting causes vata prakop, and that vata prakop causes chalaguna vritti, means movement of the blood. Chalaguna, chala means movement inside the body, whether in the localized any organ or any system. That movement is based upon vata dosha, and due to karshana, vata is increased. Increased vata causes increased movements or increased flow of the blood, and that causes menorrhagia. Bhara abhigatat means to lift heavy weight. Heavy weight lifting. What causes heavy weight lifting? Heavy weight lifting causes pressure upon the reproductive system or that area, or apana kshetra, there is pressure, and due to that pressure there will be heavy bleeding. Abhigat, injury. Injury can be localized, can be external, can be internal. Injury can cause also bleeding or menorrhagia. Shayanat diva, diva swap, or sleeping daytime. Daytime sleeping causes kapha prakop or ama production, and that ama production causes shrotorod and causes bleeding. Due to shrotorod, kapha avrutvat, as I told you that vata involvement can be due to kapha, can be due to pitta. So this menorrhagia in the Ayurvedic terminology, we can say that of 4 types: Vatash, Pittach, Kaphash, or Sannipatash. All the doshas are involved in that. Those are causes menorrhagia, and that is Sannipatash. So what should be advised to the patients? We advise patients lifestyle modification. Swasthavritta and Sadhavritta is very much important, because lot many times psychological factors are there involved in your patients who are having menstrual problem. As I am treating since last 30 years in patients of gynecological problems, always there are psychosomatic involvement is there. So in my prescription, 4 types of medicine I give. So, first is Agnivardhak, second specifically to the system, third one any procedure, and fourth one psychological aspect. So 4 prescriptions are always there in my prescription. So always add any mood elevator or some which calm that patient, or we calm her psychology, that can be helpful to your patient. So Agni Vichar should be there, Sanshodhan Chikitsa, Shaman Chikitsa, and Mansik Chikitsa is also important in the patients of gynecology in Stri Rog. And in therapy, we give Anuvasan Basti, we can give Yoga Basti, we can give Uttar Basti also to our patients. And according to problem, we change the Bastis to our patients. And in terms of heavy bleeding or menorrhagia, in Shaman Chikitsa, if your patient is not ready for Sanshodhan Chikitsa, or patient is not ready for Vireshan or Uttar Basti or Matra Basti, you can go with Shaman Chikitsa. And for Shaman Chikitsa, Agni Chikitsa, first of all, Shaman, Artav Shaman Aushadhis, we advise, and Pitta Shaman Chikitsa is also important. That is given Shita Virya drugs, or Shita Chikitsa should be given, and patient should be asked to take Shita diet. Like commonly I advise to them धान्य की हिम to take is it is very easy. The patient को बोल दो कि सौंफ घर में हो, धनिया घर में होता है, उसको पानी में भिगो दो रात में और सुबह उसको छान के वही पानी कंज्यूम करना. इन द पेशेंट्स ऑफ मेनोरेजिया जनरली आई एडवाइस धान्य हिम धान्य धनिया एंड सौंफ का पानी पेशेंट को आप बता दो. That should be advised to our patient in the menorrhagia to control the pitta dosha or to calm the pitta dosha. And common drugs we give that Pushyanuk. It is very good and classical medicine Pushyanuk. But where not to give? That is also important. If your patient is having constipation, don't give Pushyanuk continuously for 2 months, 3 months. Give for 10 days, give break or stop that medicine. Otherwise, Pushanuk Churna causes constipation if you give in long term. And that again causes Vata Prakop and again that reverse pathology will start in your patient. So, don't give Pushanuk in the patients of constipation for long duration, in the patients of Vibandha. And Kushmand is very good thing in the patients of menorrhagia. We give Kushmand Avleha or Kushmand Pak also we give. Kutaj Avleha is also very good. Jirak Avleha is very good in the patients of menorrhagia. And Asavarist, you all know that Ashokarist, Patranga Sav, Lodra Sav. These are common drugs which all use. And other things, this is specific drug, those are Bolparpati. If a patient is not getting improvement, you can advise your patient Bolparpati. Pradarantakras, Chandrakalaras also you can advise. Pradaripuras is also good in the patients of menorrhagia. But Anupana is very much important in my patients who are not getting result coming from or referred from other doctors that they are having menorrhagia since long and not getting result. They are having all K-stat, T-stat injections, but they are not having result. And those patients who are having no any pathology like no fibroid, no cyst, like dysfunctional uterine bleeding, DUB, what to do? So in those patients, I advise them to have medicine with the Anupan of Durvaswaras. I explain them to take Durva from the garden, uh, make swaras of that, take Durva swaras and mix the medicine Pushanukchurna in that Durva swaras and give my patients. So Anupana is also very much important in the patients of menorrhagia. Or we can say in all the patients Anupana is very much important. But Durva swaras is very good Anupan in the patients of this menorrhagia. And in terms of yogasana also some we have to advise lifestyle change also. We advise them Matsyasana and Shavasana. Shavasana is very much important thing that patient should have calmness in her mind. So Shavasana and then Matsyasana and Sarvangasana. These three asanas very much helpful in the patients of menorrhagia. And exercise should be stopped. I advise them stop exercise, control your sexual relationship, control frequency of intercourse, and control your worry, stress, and anger. Anger control is very much important in the patients whom I see that they are having a nature of easily they become angry. In those patients, I generally do Shirodhara also. Shirodhara is also very much helpful. And in if sometimes I advise them to take medicines with the banana. Cut the banana, sprinkle the medicines inside the banana and take that banana. That Anupan also is very good in the patients of menorrhagia. And anar, pomegranate, although it is of amlaras, but it is helpful in the patients of menorrhagia when patients are asking that what to do, not to do, what to take, not to take. So in the patients of menorrhagia, anar I advise my patients to take. Although in amenorrhea, although in menorrhagia, anar is very good for this reproductive system. So I advise to my patients and I do counseling of her family members. husband or whether mother-in-law is with her. So pleasant surrounding is very much important in the patients of menorrhagia if they are having this problem. And no pillow should be taken. That advice also I give to my patients of menorrhagia. And examination is very much important, that complications are not there in the patients. If she is having anemia, if she is having palpitations, she is having other things, that also should be taken into consideration if your patient is having menorrhagia since long. 7 to 8 months patient is having menorrhagia, and she is not taking care of, and she may have some complications. So you have to see about those complications also, that patient is having sometimes patients are having 5 to 6 7 hb and they have not done investigation, so that also should be taken into consideration. If patient is having anemia, that should also be corrected in the patients of menorrhagia. And anupana is very much important in the patients of menorrhagia. And if time is there, I can discuss leukorrhea also, white discharge. Just uh, message Dr. Kulkarni if you are there. I would like to discuss abnormal vaginal discharges. It is very common problem. Patients are coming to us directly. I would like to discuss the treatment of this abnormal vaginal discharges. Uh, I give in the patients of vaginal discharges are kapha shamak chikitsa to my patients of vaginal discharges, and local cleanliness is always needed in the patients of this discharges. And amlaki everyone consumes and throw the seed. So I advise to my patients that take amlaki seeds, amlaki seed powder. Uh, After consumption of amlaki, you can advise your patient that amlaki seed powder make and take it with this mishri and honey. Mishri is very good. Uh, you can say adjuvant in the patients of white discharge. So you can advise to your patient. Pushpanuk Churna is very good drug of choice in your patient. And Darvyadi decoction also we advise to our patients of menorrhagia. And uh, lot many medications are there in sorry patients of white discharge. So identification of the causative factor is very much important. But in the patients of white discharge, generally we do local therapies like uniprakshalan, we do univarti, we do unipichu, unidhupan, uniputli, avachurnan. Avachurnan means sprinkling of the powder that we do in our patients, in the patients of white discharge. This, but identification of the problem is must in the patients of white discharge, which type of discharge is there. So unipichu of dhatakyadi tel is very good in the patients of white discharge. And some vartis we prepare like arkadi varti, palashadi varti. And for prakshalan, panchvalkal, trifla kashay, generally we advise to our patients of white discharge, and patients are getting very good results. So these were, I think, very common and short things in OPDs we see to our patients, and give treatment to our patients. And further, a lot many things are there. Polycystic ovaries there, or infertility is there, and during pregnancy or during labor, or during after labor, patient may have some problems. But for that patient, if you do counseling of the patients to follow the dictums, patient will get benefit. Means antenatal, intranatal, postnatal. Natal means related to birth. Anti means prior. Intra means during, and post means after. So antenatal, intranatal, and postnatal. Before the birth of the baby, during the birth of the baby, after the birth of the baby, patients may have problems sometimes. But if follow all the paricharyas or dictums, patients will not have problems. So I think I would stop my talk right now. Time given to me was, I think, I have not seen the time, what is the time, but I think it is sufficient for today. Thank you all.